who are the funders? Who are the main funders, source of funding for the Partnership for a Drug-Free America? Of all things, the tobacco industry and the alcohol industry.
I'm on the border of Bolivia, working for pennies, treated like a slave. The coca fields have to be ready. The spirit of my people is starving, broken and sweaty, dreaming about revolution, looking at my machete. But the workload is too heavy to rise up in arms, and if I ran away, I know they'd probably murder my moms.
Since 9/11, the only thing that's really changed around here in my neighborhood are the attitudes of the police. You know, the gangs are now the new terrorists.
I mean, how tough security's gotten since 9/11, it's like really like, you know, how the drugs coming into the United States now, how? I mean, you know, I don't have an airplane, you know, I don't have a car that's gonna make it with California plates to Mexico and back to Colombia. I can't even drive to Colombia.
Yeah, so it gotta be flown.
I don't have a boat.
It gotta be flown or shipped.
Jesucristo when I go to the mission, process the cocaine paste and play my position.
Okay, listen, Juan Valdez, just get me my product before we chop off your hands for workers' misconduct. I got the power to shoot a copper and not get charged, and it would be sad to see your family in front of a firing squad. So to feed your kids, I need these bricks, 40 tons in total, let me test it indeed. Shit, this is good, pass me a tissue and don't worry about them.
There's a great line in the movie Boys in the Hood where Larry Fishburne is saying, hey man, we don't grow it, we don't own any airplanes, we don't have any laboratories, how does it get here? Why does it get here? And that's a very good common sense approach that intuitively the people in South Central understood, that there was something much bigger than them that was moving the whole drug issue and the drug war.
Now we all know that the U.S. government and the CIA supported the Contras in their efforts to overthrow the Sandinista government in Nicaragua in the middle 80s. Now it is alleged the CIA also helped the Contras raise money for arms by introducing crack cocaine into California.
I paid off the officials.
Yo, it don't come as a challenge. I'm the son of some of the foulest, elected by my people. The only one on the ballot, born and bred to consort with feds. I laugh at fate and assassinate my predecessor to have his place in a third world fashion state. Lock the nation with 90% of the wealth and 10% of the population. A Central Intelligence Agency takes weight faithfully. The finest type of China.
The United States government turned their head and let this cocaine come into the United States of America.
I am a former Los Angeles police narcotics detective, and I work South Central Los Angeles, and I will tell you, Director Deutsch, that the agency has dealt drugs throughout this country for a long time. Director Deutsch, I will refer you to 3 specific agency operations known as Amadeus, Pegasus, and Watchtower. I have Watchtower documents heavily redacted by the agency. I was personally exposed to CIA operations and recruited by CIA personnel who attempted to recruit me in the late 70s to become involved in protecting agency drug operations in this country.
Cocaine, you'll see.
Honey, I'm home. Never mind when your bank account suddenly grown. It's funny, we're so out of this debt for this money we owe with ya. When have I told you that I had 2 governments overthrown to keep our son enrolled in a private school and to keep our tummy swollen? Come on, our fucking home was built on a foundation of bloody throats, the hungry stolen of their souls. Of course this country's running coke. I took a stunning oath to hush the ones who know. The CIA conducts the...
There was a greater plan to put churches, to put liquor stores, gun shops, and cocaine, drugs, into the ghetto, into the neighborhoods.
I think the prevailing view on Wall Street is anyone stupid enough to buy drugs deserves to die. And if you can make money from them while they're doing it, that's great. And if that's imposing a crime wave on a community away from Wall Street, that's okay.
For these young hustlers that lust for
I go work in the hood, hit my connect. That's what's really good, and supply work to the hood. These suits fucking crack me up, scrutinized like we inferior, petrified when we meet in my area. My dudes will shoot till I say so. You got the loot, give me the yay like Ice Cube, so don't play with my yayo. We won't stop till you bastards, my street scramblers chop it and bag it. Taking pictures and tapping phones.
The drug business is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The drug money is flowing, people are going to jail, the money's going through Wall Street, people are happy, it's not out of control, and everybody's looking the other way. And that's exactly the way they need it to be, because they cannot sustain not only the U.S. economy, but they cannot sustain the U.S. empire, the American empire, without those drug flows.
Ruling class here in America had to come up with something so that they can control certain segments of society so that they can stay in power. So they created the drug war for the felonization of Americans.
Baiting snitches and cracking codes. Fast to cuff or blast the foe on any hustler stacking dough. This pump and crack a blow. And my overtime is where your taxes go. Or gain your trust. Get you to hand wait to us. Cause we paid up front on the low with cameras taping ya. Getting pop or wait. The prison sentence is doomed. Make the collar to leave with 2 keys out the evidence room.
Went my fame. Truck, boat, or plane, they watching you. You think you got work? They copping too. We control blocks. They lock countries.
I was in the marijuana and hashish business for 25 years. I spent 25 years of my life living in Southeast and Southwest Asia, where I saw the CIA, through their political agendas, allow the production of opium poppies and heroin production in Southwest and Southeast Asia that eventually reached these shores.
Police don't bother them. The U.S. military has other priorities.
So within this past year that the U.S. government has control of Afghanistan, why is there a major crop of heroin?
Companies, we had nice cars and sneaker money. Now it's players out there talking about they holding with bucks in their house like they down south with windows open. Your dough ain't long, you wrong, you take shorts and soon feds will be up in your mouth like forks and spoons. So enjoy the rush, live plush or coke bread. Soon you'll
we have a government that promotes drugs to get their agendas across in Central America and South America, in Southeast Asia and Southwest Asia, and then puts its own people in jail for using them. Are you really living in a free country?
10 states have passed laws permitting the use of medical marijuana, but today the court ruled that the federal ban on marijuana supersedes those state laws. Polling has shown that a large majority of Americans consistently support the use of medical marijuana. Still, in a 6-3 decision, the justices said that federal authorities may prosecute sick people who use marijuana, even if it's at the direction of a doctor.
When I was 2 years old, I was diagnosed with histiocytosis X. I suffered through 10 major lesions of these histiocytites between the ages of 2 and 10, and I started using cannabis to effectively treat the nausea and the side effects.
You know, cancer, AIDS, you know, and they still, all this cancer research, they haven't come up with anything that even compares to what marijuana does.
Marijuana doesn't kill your liver, doesn't damage your kidneys, doesn't cause ulcers. It can increase risk of respiratory problems, bronchitis, and pneumonia. The risk of cancer is not significantly different, very minimal increase in risk for cancer. It just generally does not have a death profile.
Everything in our bodies is regulated by marijuana-like compounds that our bodies produce. So whether you're talking about the immune system, the nervous system, the digestive system, reproductive system, endocrine system, all of these coordinated body functions are regulated in a homeostatic manner by cannabinoids.
With me, like Jenny Lopez, in the school I was a bully, now life is fully a joke. I keep afloat on a boat for Peruvian coke.
Big business does not want us to know that we can cure cancer forever at very low cost.
It's so awesome.
I was tobacco.
Hello, NBC.
And I know for a fact that there are people at CIA that smoke marijuana, and they're just hoping they won't get caught on their next lie detector test. Marijuana is, like alcohol, something that people want to use.
I have come more than 180 degrees. I worked narcotics in South Central Los Angeles. Now I am completely and totally in favor of decriminalizing all drug use, period. Drug addiction, like alcohol addiction, is not a criminal problem. It's a medical problem, a social problem, a spiritual problem.
The next big step is the people refusing to pay taxes or to re-elect people. In fact, I see 80 million Americans getting themselves organized to the point where they can tell Congress that if it doesn't dramatically reduce what we spend on a heavy metal military, on secret intelligence, on prisons, which are actually slave farms, then these people will be fired.